we're gonna put on some airline grips. So this is pretty standard. You'd probably buy them truck stop, dealership, anywhere. So I just cracked the first one. That's our service line. It's gonna be hard to do if you don't have some proper wrenches, because usually these things are on there good. So this one have a 7/8 and a inch and an eighth. Okay, so I already cracked it. So I'm just gonna unthread it.
For more videos like this, please subscribe.
Obviously that's it. We're gonna reuse it. It's not broken, it's not cracked. It's acceptable, right? So we'll pull the cord kit, and these things already have some thread sealant on there. Kind of Loctite type of stuff. Obviously I don't want you to get in there, so. We'll do our blue. So we'll thread it on there. And this will be tough if you don't have the right wrenches. So we'll see here. So we're still gonna use a 7/8 over here. Try a 1-inch. They don't have to be insanely tight. I mean, they're only airlines. It's not the end of the world. You're not trying to hold the weight of the truck here. Okay, so that's your service line. We're gonna thread on the end. A lot of guys like to go nuts with the thread sealer, but it's really unnecessary. So we're gonna go here, and then we have a 1 1/8 on the handle. Try doing this when it's freezing outside. Good luck. These things will not pull. And these things will break in the winter. And if you don't have winter, then you guys are lucky. Okay, because that's when stuff likes to break. So that's it. Done deal for your service line. And so now into our parking line. See what wrench we got. Not at 1-inch. The 15/16 here. Not that, so we're gonna have to use a 1-inch. It's a little sloppy, but we'll have to do. And again, 1 1/8 over here. And that's pretty typical that it'll spin because it sees on there. Okay, so the fitting we need to pull here is too loose to be 1-inch, and it's not a 15/16, and it's not a 24. So unless you're gonna hammer a wrench on there, you could do that. So we're gonna pull the compression part of the fitting. And they make these serviceable, so you could do this anywhere. If you cut the line, if it get pinched, you can take it apart, just like that. And pull it. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go throw it in the vise. Lucky we're in the shop, we have a vise. So if you're on the road, you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do. Whether you're gonna hammer it off or break it. But I'm gonna pull this and I'll be right back. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so cut scene, use the vise, pull the fitting, lock it in the vise, get it out. So here's a new one, just for the sake of argument. A 1-inch a little loose, a 15/16 too small, a 24. The Leafs just scored. Someone just scored. Oh, maybe Boston. That's not good for the Leafs. Listen to the Leafs game here. A big game tonight. So as you can see, that's the problem with the mechanic. Sometimes you just don't have the right damn wrench. So we're gonna put this back in. That's new. Thread it down. This don't have to be insanely tight, just to secure it. Already been compressed. So 1-inch over here. A 1/16. So we're ready for our end now. This one I'm gonna put sealant on because that's the line that's always gonna be energized. Okay. So there's our white stuff. thread sealer. Here's the extension. Thread it on. What do we have here?
You change that?
Hold on.
You find one?
Again, you don't have enough wrenches, so now you need a mechanic's secret.
You find one? You find one?
Huh?
Wanna find one?
No, thanks.
Wanna find it? You got Peter to find one?
We have a second 1-inch wrench now, and double wrench it. Sometimes you never have the right stuff, but you do the best you can. Once it's garbage, man. How many junior chickens is in there? Huh? 8! Oh man. You know not to come back without junior chickens. And here's our end. I'm gonna go back on. It's the final stage. So as you can tell, if you don't have some wrenches, you don't have the right tools, it's gonna be hard, but at least you can try. But sometimes these cord ends been on there for so long, and then in the environment that we have to deal with the salt and the weather and the fluctuation in temperature all the time. Sometimes these are just hard to pull. Aluminum to brass, white metal, all these different metals they don't like to pull from each other. So that's that. You have the handle extension. We'll take a rag and wipe off the extra goo there. The main thing is that if you're gonna put the goo, the main thing is that it's on the red handle because that's the parking side, so you don't want that to leak as it's running. And with the brakes released, otherwise it'd be constantly building air, and that's bad for the compressor. So we'd be good. We're good here. YouTube! Troy Stars Trucking. Please subscribe for more videos. Check in with Troy. Always good content coming up on the regular. So I think the moral of the story is that if you're gonna try it, research it, Google, information is power. You can always look it up. You can always YouTube a video. You might find this one in the process. You can always just hit up Google, talk to another guy. And if you're really not comfortable, you're not handy with a wrench, and you're not handy with any sort of tool, but you manage to drive a truck, then you might just have to call a mechanic and suffer the consequence of breaking down the road. But at the end of the day, everyone's out here to help each other out, and like if you can call someone who knows, they will help you and maybe come and give you a hand. But the best thing you can do is get out there and look for the information and go from there, because in this day and age, information is power, and without that you're shit out of luck. And back in the days, you used to have to go to the library to look up something, and if you're in the middle of the road late at night and you have no library close by, what can you do, right? So you're lucky that we live in this day that you could just easily go on the internet and look up any video you want, no matter what it is. So at the end of the day, look it up and be sure what you're doing, and read the manual, read the instruction, look at the information that's there, tell you what color, where. It is so simple. So, but the main thing is to always represent, and if you can't do it, you don't want to do it, you don't have the time, you can't be bothered, just go down to a place who you know will sort you out. Go down to DSL Diesel if you're in Mississauga. Go down to any local garage, even a ma-pa shop. If you get stuck, you have to go to the dealer. So that's it. So we sorted out some trailer cords. Hopefully you learned something from the video. It's pretty self-explanatory, I hope. Maybe there's too much information, but you can look into it and go for it. And
For more
why not
videos
try,
like this,
right?
please subscribe.